As a veteran who has filed a VA disability claim, I understand this process and you may too, but you are no stranger to paperwork. Okay. So at some point, all those forms and letters, they may start to jumble together. They may start to come together. But if you receive a VA development letter, right, I want you to pay attention. I'm going to break this down. That way, if you're confused by it, you're going to be able to understand what this means. Okay. It does not mean the end of the rope. All right. It's nothing to freak out about. I'm going to break all this down for you, why the VA would do that, what they need, what it means. So pay attention because it's very, very important. This may be applying to you right now if you're tuning in. Okay. So a VA development letter is an update. Okay. They're just updating you on the status of your VA disability claim. If you've received one, right, there are some steps that you need to take. I'm going to explain those. That's what I'm going to discuss in this live stream here, right? So thank you guys for your service. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, share this out with someone that can use this information. And remember, we are veterans serving veterans, and you matter. We care about you very, very much. Okay. So a VA development letter, right, is a common part of the claims process. And it just means the VA needs some more information about your claim. Okay. You can view your VA development letter online at VA.gov. Responding quickly, right? You can't ignore it. Responding quickly to your VA development letter will help prevent future delays in processing your claim as well. So it's very, very important. It's part of what's called the duty to assist. So, in case you don't know, I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence. The VA is required by law to help you gather the evidence needed to decide your claim, right? The VA has a duty to assist you according to the law, to the Code of Federal Regulations, okay? And again, you will get this notice from the Department of Veterans Affairs during your claim process. And it basically says, hey, veteran, we're still working on your claim. However, we need some information or we're gathering additional evidence that we may need. That may be your records. That may be something that they're unclear about. That may be a compensation and pension exam was not justified correctly. Maybe they need more reasoning or explanation towards your stressor of post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay. Right. So you might receive a development letter if, okay, the VA needs medical records from a doctor or hospital. They're scheduling you for a CMP exam and they just want you to know, hey, you may have a CMP examination coming up. If they need you to complete a form, right? Like your buddy statement's not adding up, or they need more information, or your stressor statement for your PTSD, right? Like I just explained, is the stressor, they don't really know the time, the date, the range. They don't know that. Okay. They need more details to understand what specifically happened. When did it happen? When did it occur? Time, date, place, location, etc. Or they may need some financial paperwork from you as well. Or they may just simply want you to know that your claim is still in process and being developed. I know there's a holdup. We've all heard that. But bottom line, it's the VA's way of saying your claim is not finished. Here's what's happening. What do you need to do? Okay. When you get a development letter, don't ignore it. Read it carefully. Ask if someone's helping you. Reach out to them. What's going on? So we want to know, are they asking for specific evidence? That's very, very important to know. Do I need to fill out or return a form? Are they just informing me of the next steps of my claim? If they're requesting something from you, you need to respond quickly and in a timely manner. Delays can slow your claim or even cause a denial. If you're unsure, call the VA at 1-800-827-1000 or talk to your VSO or whoever's assisting you with your claim. Reach out to the VERA hotline as well, too, if you need to kick them in the butt. Because, listen, the 1-800 number, if you reach out for help and you reach out to call them, they are not always helpful at all. Some of them are greenhorns. Some of them are new. Some of them have no idea what the heck that they're even talking about. It's a helpline. All right. I know when you're thinking a helpline, like they're supposed to know everything about your claim, but that's not always the case. Unfortunately, it's not an equal playing ground when you an equal playing ground or a level playing field, if you will. When you call that 1-800 number, you don't know what you're going to get. You may have one person telling you one thing, another person telling you another thing, and then somebody else who has absolutely no clue what they're talking about. I've seen it, right? And sometimes they don't know what they're talking about because they're not looking at all the evidence, right? The rater has all the evidence. They aren't clearly seeing everything that the rater's seeing, so they can't honestly articulate what's really going on. Unfortunately, I know they should, but they can't. Okay, that's the reality of it. So the key is it's not a denial. Okay, it doesn't mean your claim is dead. It just means the VA is still building the necessary evidence to decide your claim. And again, they have a duty to assist you. Think of it as a part of the process, not the end of the road. Okay, it's very, very important to understand that. Very, very much so. So to understand a VA development letter, right, you need to understand the VA disability claim process. So here's the main steps, and I'm going to go over these. These are 8 of them. I'm going to say 9 if necessary. I'm going to throw that in there. But number one, you file the claim. Okay. You go to your VSO or whoever's assisting you or through VA.gov and you get it filed, right? Then once the VA receives it, right, give them 5 to 10 days. It's going to do it. They're going to do an initial review. There's a team that does an initial review of your claim once it is received to make sure it's on the correct form and all of that stuff. Then the next thing they're going to do is they're going to pass it along to gather evidence. They're going to look into the claim and find out what do we need to, complete this claim, right? It goes to the rater, right? They gather whatever evidence is necessary. If there's medical records that need to be ordered, if there's something that they need, that's what they do. If they need a compensation and pension exam to clarify information, that's what they do. Then there's a review of the evidence as well too. Okay, that's step 4. They review the evidence that they have, right? They look through all the evidence, right? But here's a part in this number 4 part of the reviewing of the evidence. Sometimes they just purposefully do not consider all evidence that you submitted. They clearly don't even pay attention. They clearly on purpose ignore the nexus letter or the disability benefits questionnaire because many people end up having to do higher level reviews and then they end up finding out that evidence was not even considered. Like the senior level reviewer is like, oh, I didn't even know. Oh yeah, that wasn't even looked at. What the heck, right? So they're reviewing all the evidence. They're supposed to review all the evidence. That does not happen all the time. Okay. Sometimes it's missed, and then that's why we have to appeal. All right. Number 5 is there's a preparation for a decision, right? You can follow all of this on your VA.gov or your VA app, which I highly recommend everyone to download from the App Store or the Play Store, depending on what type of phone you have. Download the VA app. Okay. They're preparing a decision for you. Number 6, they're pending decision approval. Okay. It's pending. You may not see your decision yet. Number 7 is preparation for notification to let you know what decision was made, approved or denied. Number 8 is your claim is completed. And number 9, hopefully you don't have to go here, but appeals and revisions if necessary, higher level review or whatever route that you need to go, or if they were not clear, or if your rating's not correct, whatever appeal and revision is necessary, that's what's next if need be. Okay. So there's 8, but I call it 9 processes or steps to the VA disability claim process. Okay. So again, receiving this VA development letter is a common part of the VA claims process. The goal is to file a fully developed claim. Okay. Sometimes things get overlooked or left out. I just explained that. The VA development letter not only updates you on the status of your claim, but it's also a request, again, for more information or clarification. So don't freak out. Okay. Very important. So the types of information requested in a VA development letter, again, to reiterate, medical records and documentation. They may want additional medical records or documentation related to your VA disability claim, right? This could include records from your treating physicians or medical facilities you visited, or any of that stuff. Or an example, maybe a missing diagnosis or a missing form of some sort, or a clarification of something that was part of your evidence. They may want service records and or discharge paperwork. The VA may request your service records and discharge paperwork to verify your military service and determine if your disability is related to your time in the service. Okay. They may want other evidence, like other evidentiary paperwork requested by the VA, right? They may include a nexus that, like, they may want a link between your current diagnosis and your service, which veterans can be provided by a medical professional, or they may want letters from yourself or others related to the symptoms of your current diagnosis. You've got to read that letter fully, right, and understand what they're asking and get that back to them promptly. Responding promptly to your VA development letter is crucial to keeping your claim moving along in the process. How do you view your VA development letter online? You can view your VA development letter as well as your VA decision letter online at VA.gov or through the VA Health and Benefits mobile app, which I highly recommend to check out and to download. It is in the description of this video right here. Okay. Check this out. Good evening, everyone. Jerry Early watching from the Big Island of Hawaii. What's up, brother? Great to see you. And let's go, man. The Big Island of Hawaii. Send pictures, bro. Email them to me. I love it. Good. Jason, good evening. Should be back stateside in a few months. I hope you can get me from 90 to 100. Let's go. Let's go. Do not tempt me with a good time. I'm ready to go, brother. I'm ready to go, my friend. So again, to access your VA development letter and other documents, you first have to create a free account through id.me or login.gov. So let's get to responding to your VA development letter. I want to dig a little bit deeper with that. When you receive your VA development letter, veterans, read it very carefully to make sure you understand what the VA is requesting, as well as any relevant deadlines, and get what you need in for deadlines. Listen, if any of you have any issues or you're struggling on just what you need, many veterans from this YouTube channel have called just on clarification of things, not understanding, and we just clarify it for you real quick. We'll do our best to answer. We're dealing with a lot of veterans, but we're going to help you out all that we can. Next thing you want to do is you want to collect your documents. You want to make copies for your own records. Make sure you know what you have. Prepare to submit them either online or through certified mail, or you can fax them. Okay, the more prompt that you are, understand you need to get these things in promptly. The more prompt you are in submitting those files, the faster the VA can return to reviewing your claim. If you need guidance on understanding the request within your VA development letter, reach out to your VA representative or whoever's helping you, whatever you have that's assisting you. Make sure that you have a great advocate helping you if you don't know what you're doing or if you need help. Okay. So if you've received a VA development letter requesting more information about your VA disability claim, I just want to advise you, don't panic. This is a common part of the claims process and just means the VA needs more information to make a well-informed decision about your claim. Make sure that you gather the requested information and respond as quickly as possible to prevent any additional delays in your claims award. Listen, I want to talk a little bit about the fully developed claim, okay? Very important, okay? You need to know it's better to be proactive than reactive. You need to have everything that you need. You need to know everything that's in your claim. You need to know exactly what you're filing for. Do not rely on a VSO or anyone to know more about your claim than you. And that does take effort and work, but put in the work on the front end. And I'm telling you, you will get the results on the back end. Okay. As long as you have in-service treatment, stressor diagnosis, or we can link it together, you will get those results, right? Get the treatment that you can. But the fully developed claims program, right, is for if you want to get a faster decision on your disability benefits claim by submitting evidence along with your claim, use the fully developed claim program, right? Very, very important. So what you need for the VA to consider a fully developed claim is you need to submit your completed application online, right? The 21526EZ, and submit all the evidence, supporting documents that you have along with your claim. And you need to certify that there's no more evidence that they might need to decide your claim. Hey, I'm giving you everything that you need to decide my claim. And you need to go to any VA medical exams that the VA will schedule if they decide those exams are needed to make a decision on your claim. Many fully developed claims, many this year that I've seen from veterans, right, that we've been able to advocate for, right, or be able to put in the best position to win their claim, have not gotten CMP exams. They've went right through. I've seen them go through in 3 and 5 and 7 days. Why? Because it's all about the evidence on the front end. Get the help that you need on the front end. You'll get the results on the back end. You will. And that's a great thing about here. We are not here, man. We are not here to beat you upside the head. We want to make sure that you have the best, that you're in the best position to win your claim. It's that simple. The best position to win your claim, honestly, integrally, ethically, right? Every veteran needs to be rated where they need to be rated at, right? And if you have something wrong, go for it. Okay. You served, you deserve, do that. Okay. You need to submit with the fully developed claim. Okay. All private medical records, anything that you're coming with on the front and related to the claim condition, like reports from your own doctor, x-rays, other test results, whatever it may be, from a non-VA hospital nexus letter, anything like that, any records of medical treatment you've received for the claim condition while serving in the military, and any military personnel records you have that relate to the claim condition, and any information about anything related, any health records that you don't have, but that the VA can request on your behalf. You have to let them know. You want to write that on your statement and support a claim. I do not have my medical records, but I know I hurt my back. I know that they exist, and please, I need you to get this for me, right? But you've got to be very specific. That way, the VA can request on your behalf from a federal facility like a VA medical center or a clinic, right? And you also want to submit a 214142 as well. So if you think your service records don't include a description of your disability, you can also submit letters from family members, friends, clergy members, law enforcement personnel, or those you serve with that can tell the VA more about your claim condition and how and when it happened, okay? As well, and note that in 1973, a fire at the National Personal Records Center, NPRC, in St. Louis destroyed records, unfortunately, held for veterans, is what they say, who were discharged from the Army and Air Force during certain periods of time. So if your records were destroyed in this fire, you can get help restructuring them, okay? And I'm going to do a video on find out how to reconstruct your records, okay? I will do a video on that. That's going to be my next live stream, probably tomorrow night. Okay. Very important. That's going to be a good one on how to reconstruct your records. Okay. Are there any risks to using the fully developed claim, the FDC program? No, filing a fully developed claim won't affect the attention that the VA gives to your claim or the benefits that you are entitled to veterans to receive. If they determine that they need other non-federal records or anything to make a decision on your claim, they simply remove the claim from the fully developed claims program and they process it as a standard claim, which takes a little bit longer. Okay. So whatever claim you're filing will depend on the evidence that you need to submit to support your disability claim. If you need help gathering your evidence, the VA can help gather the evidence for the FDC program, right? In these ways, they can request your military service records with your permission, and they can request relevant Social Security benefits information and medical records that you identify and authorize the VA to get from a federal facility like a VA medical center, and they will schedule a health exam for you or get a medical opinion from a healthcare provider if they decide that they need it for your claim. So listen, this is all about proactiveness on your part. That's why I'm teaching you and I'm sharing with you. And if you know this, great, pass this on to someone who does not. But this is why I am teaching and sharing about the development letters and what they are and the importance of a fully developed claim. But watch this. Listen here. You're trying to get your benefits. The VA is adhering to budget. Okay. Look, if they don't need to give you benefits any more than they need to, they're not going to. Okay. They're adhering to budget. You get that? So when you file the claim, look at what they're telling you right now. You need to understand this when you walk into a VSO or you walk in to VFW or DAV. I'm not knocking any of it. What I'm telling you is, look, you have to authorize. You have to be proactive, and you need to know what you need them to get from a federal facility like a VA medical center. So know this: if you're going in half stepping and not knowing what you're doing, just because you file and you go with a VSO and you think in your mind that this happened in 2016 and are unsure that your back or knee or neck or mental health, and you don't even know. And then secondly, if you don't have any up-to-date care and you know it's been over a year, you have no business filing a claim. You don't. Get the help that you need. Make sure you have up-to-date care within in the past 12 months, especially if you have a lot of gap, time and space, and continuity of care. Okay. The more time you have, it becomes a huge enemy of veterans. But do you hear what I'm saying? You need to identify and you need to authorize what the VA needs to get. Okay. So this is your claim. Very, very important. Just know that the VA is not responsible for identifying this is your claim. That's what they're saying there. These benefits are out here, but you got to work for them and you got to put it in. So listen, that's why I tell you, use whoever you want. I'll tell you this, if we help anybody, man, we'll match or beat anybody out there. I don't care who they are. And mostly what we do is everything that we do is donational based, and we're going to help you anyways, right? We're going to help you. And it's all dependent on your situation. Me and you ain't dollar figures, all these other companies and stuff like that. I'm not here knocking. Great. They've helped veterans. And if you've gotten help and you paid them times 5 and times 6 and 10 times that, whatever, that's on you. You know what I mean? You can do that. If they've helped you and it makes sense to you, go on and do it. I'm never going to bash anybody or anything like that, but get the help that you need. I'm just here to tell you everything that I do in my life, I operate from a place of being fair, whatever your situation is. If you're homeless and you need help, you think I'm going to charge you a penny to help you with something? No, I'm going to help you. It's all according to your situation. It's all about being fair. It's all about being fair, and it's all about being right. It's all about doing it right. So if you do need help, look, I ain't here to sell crap. If you need help, we're here for you. Okay. That's all I want to tell you. And we care about you. We're on a mission bigger than claims is what I'm here to tell you. Okay. So we really care about you. We really love you. Even though we'll look, even this too, I just want to check. I just want to be honest with you. Like, I'm so grateful for these VA benefits. I am not bashing the VA. I'm not bashing anyone in that matter. What everybody does, dude, that's on your conscience at the end of the day, not mine. But I'm just here to tell you that just think about what I'm telling you. It is your responsibility. I know you served. You're like, what in the heck do I got to go through all this whenever I served? I get it. And I served and I went to Afghanistan and Iraq. But notice they don't give you all the cheat codes. They didn't give me all the cheat codes when I came out, too. And I got raked over by a company too. I'm not going to say their name as well to get the help that I needed as well, that, they know what they did, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So, and I vow not to let that happen to other people as well. But look, even though, here's what the VA says, even though we'll gather federal records like your DD-214 or your VA medical records on your behalf, we encourage you to submit these if you have them to save time in the process. They're telling you right there, we're saying we're going to request your stuff with your permission. We'll request your military certificate. We will identify what you authorize. So if you don't tell them what they need, you think they're going to go out of their way for you? No, they're not going to. They have a duty to assist, so they explain what they need to in the bare minimum terms that they need to. And if you don't believe what I'm saying and you think I'm full of crap and you don't like it, well, watch this. Why don't they provide you a nexus letter? Why don't they give us a resource of disability benefits questionnaires and nexus doctors and all that stuff? They don't do that. They don't do that at all, right? And that's why so many companies and people have came in outside of the VSOs and the government and have been helping veterans. You know what I'm saying? We've been watching all this GUARD Act and all these different things because things ain't getting done, and not all evidence is there for veterans to file secondary claims or increases when you get rated low or appeal things and all these other things, just saying, so what I'm trying to tell you is you need to be proactive, not reactive. You've got to know what's in your records. And what you need to do is, if you don't know what you're doing, I advise getting the best help that you can get with people that see you as a veteran who served, who care about you deeply and want you to be in the best position to win your claim, who are not raking you upside the head with gazillions of dollars and all this other crap. You know what I mean? So, and the majority of people in the world, I want to tell you this too, the majority of people in the world only care about money. So just letting you know, so you need to turn in your evidence at the same time as you file your claim. If you're filing online, upload your medical evidence or supporting documents at the end of the disability compensation form for your fully developed claim. If you turn in more information or evidence after you submit your fully developed claim, we'll remove your claim from the fully developed claim program and process it, like I said, as a standard claim. So you can file a fully developed claim online, by mail, by fax, in person, or with the help of whoever you see fit to help you. Okay. Again, I'm not bashing, but dude, people are out here just running amok, and that's why there's problems and all these other things with people's claims, and people are saying this company did this and this company did that. And that's what I mean by that. Okay. So if the shoe fits, wear it. What I'm telling you is that just get the right help that you need. You ain't a dollar figure to anybody. Get the right help. Okay. You deserve it. Right. That's how people go. VSOs don't work for free neither. They sit there and they get paid. Okay. And maybe there's some retirees out there that do sit and just help people for free, but get the right help that you need. You deserve it. If you don't understand what something means, if you don't understand what a development letter is, get the help that you need. Okay. It's very, very important. If you run into a wall, don't just keep throwing mud at a wall. Don't just keep throwing and hoping that something's going to stick. Make sure you know what you're doing. Be strategic. Go the least path of resistance. Get the help. Get educated. Get things explained to you of what's going on throughout the process. And look, don't lie about anything, but don't minimize anything, you know. And also, I want to say, if you utilize anybody for Nexus letters and DBQs, look, if you need help with that, let us know. You know, if you reach out to us, it's going to go through a little bit quicker. If you reach out through the YouTube, if you reach out through the description in this channel, it's going to take a while because the doctor's got to do more work on their end. They're going to have to do everything of filing and sifting through and interviewing you and all this stuff, in which they're going to do anyways. But if you reach out and you do need, or you've been denied, or you need something, we are here for you. We have a lot of people coming. But the great thing about what we're going to do is we're going to make sure you don't get screwed over. I had somebody, dude, I've had several people this year that have paid a wad of money for Nexus letters, and they were fighting from the wrong angle, because you have to understand these doctors and stuff aren't, and maybe there's a doctor out there, but they're not really going to be going through a strategy session with you or anything like that. They're there to write a Nexus letter or a disability benefits questionnaire, and it's supposed to be unbiased, you know. And they're doing it on your behalf, and you're paying them to do that. They're not your VSO. They're not there to put all your claim evidence together. They're there to look at the evidence. So if somebody comes and they need something, we're going to look at everything. We're going to make sure that it's a fully developed claim. We're going to make sure that all your evidence matches up. And there ain't going to be a doctor doing anything, right, unless they can absolutely do it. They're going to look at all the evidence to make sure that they can do it. If you don't need a Nexus letter, you don't need a DBQ, if you don't need to do that stuff, there's no need for it. Do it. You know what I mean? You don't need to do that, right? So it's all about what's the best thing for you. But if you need a safe place, and if you are in need of a Nexus letter, before Googling and researching and just whipping it up because of something, you know, just make sure you're getting help. Make sure you're getting a copy of everything that you submitted. If you are getting help from somebody, make sure you have a copy of all those things. Okay. Keep records, keep everything documented. Very, very, very important. So that's a lot of different stuff right there, veterans, today. I really hope that this helps you guys, man. I care about you guys. Make sure that you take care of yourselves. Be proactive. If you do need help, reach out. Okay. Thank you guys for your service. That's what I've got today. VA development letters explain what they mean for your claim. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, share this with anyone that can use this information, man. And I care about you. We are veterans serving veterans every single Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We do our VCS Unity Hour as well, too. I am going to, starting next week, be dropping the link in the YouTube. If anybody from in the world wants to jump on and join and be encouraged, we are going to be getting after it as well, too. We also offer counseling. We offer group counseling as well, too. If you need to build evidence or get evidence, we can offer that through free resources and all of that as well, too. So I just want you guys to know that we also do letters for service dogs and all that stuff as well. So I just want you guys to be fully aware of what all is going on and the help that is out there to you if you do need that help. Thank you for your service. You matter. I am a veteran serving veterans. Proud to do that for the United States of America, and you guys too. And I thank each and every one of you for your service to our country. You matter. You're cared about. You're loved. Let's go. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.